I'm Joyce Schaefer.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. You are looking live at sheet number 3 at the Utica Curling Club for today's playing of the 2015 Glengarry Finals, our Women's Club Championship here at the Curling Club. Joining me today for the broadcast, you know this man. Our network we're thinking of renaming our network to the Mike Kessler Curling Network. He's here now in Broadcast Central again, off his debut with the Charbonneau, Mike Kessler. Hi, Mike. How you doing today?
Hi, Doug. Glad to be here. Nice to see the women getting their chance to be on your webcasting.
And also we have, you remember this man from the Mitchell Finals, appropriately named his last name. Dave Mitchell's back for an encore broadcast. Dave, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, guys. Glad to be here and glad to see the nice competitive curling from the women so far. So looking forward to some good games.
So a little makeshift national anthem going on here. I would get out there and sing "Oh Canada." I busted out pretty good. But no Canadians.
I don't think anybody wants to hear me sing anything. It's probably safer that way.
So our matchup today, Team McEnroe. Michelle McEnroe skipping, Erlene Perlio Vice. Actually, we'll have their photos up for you, so just give me a second here. So we'll start with Michelle's team.
Hi, I'm Michelle McEnroe, and I'd like to introduce my team. I'm the skip. My vice is Erlene Pulio, my second, Donna Caleo, and my lead, Jan Rischel.
And they're playing this team here, skipped by Joyce Schaefer. Let's let Joyce introduce her team.
Hi, I'm Joyce Schaefer. I want to introduce my team. Susan Williams is my third, and she's throwing skip rocks. Sue Gardner is my second, and Peggy Pratt is my lead, and we're having a great time. Thank you.
Super. So there's your teams in today's matchup. So you guys want to take a crack at handicapping? We'll start with Mike. You want to handicap the McEnroe squad for us?
You're in trouble either way, Mike. Just be careful.
No matter what I say here, I know I'm in trouble, but this is a very strong rink they have out there. Michelle knows this game well. She's got a great third in Erlene. I've curled with Erlene many times, and always a pleasure to be out there with her. Donna Caleo, very strong curler also. And someone who could be a third on these teams, Jan Rischel's playing lead. So it's a very strong team.
And Dave, you want to handicap the Schaefer rink for us?
The Schaefer rink, there you go. You probably got 100 years of curling experience on that team as well. So, I mean, another solid team. You know, these guys are all in their own ranks, you know, play well in their leagues. I think we've got some subs on this team, though. But still, I mean, you can tell they're such great curlers that, you know, they're right back at it and playing fantastic. We watched them play a fantastic game at 11 o'clock this morning. What a battle that was. Took it to an extra end and squeaked it out. So looking forward to a good one here.
So we have the other teams participating in this event on your scoreboard. Colors may be a little off. We'll update that as time goes on here. But essentially a 6-team spiel here. And the way they work the draw is they all played, so they played 3 games preliminary. So they had 3 winners and 3 losers in the first round. So in order to fill out that 4th spot in the semifinals, they took the team with the less net points of the losing teams, of the 3 losing teams, and that was Joyce Schaefer. So it's actually Cindy Brown beat Joyce Schaefer in the opening games. Joyce was 4th. Cindy would been so they went into the 1-4 game, and then our other teams that advanced were Michelle McEnroe was and played Carol Jones. She advanced. And that would have been the 2 game. And then Karen Rogowski played Melissa Foot's team. And so that was the 2-3 game. Michelle came through that, and Joyce won the 1-4 game. Does that make sense, or am I totally confused?
Sounds good to
we
me.
don't have we don't have a graphics department here, so.
Sounds good to me.
It's a different format than what we're used to seeing.
Right.
But
Typically, with a 6-team field, you would have you'd have a 1 and 2 teams if you seeded them. I think they did pure seed the teams here, and I guess I'm not sure. Joyce was talking to me a little bit about it. Well, here, let's get back on this view for you.
Yeah, it's starting to set up a great end here.
Yep.
Michelle calling for what appears to be a draw here behind the 2 center guards, so we'll see where this ends up. Guys are right on and out of her hand, so this one might be a little light.
Michelle with a hammer in the first end.
Perfect line here, but just not enough weight there.
our ice here in Utica always tends to start out pretty slow in the first end, and you'll always see a lot of guards to start the game.
Yeah, and Mike, it looks like Joyce is going to take her crack at trying to stuff one behind those guards.
Well, Peggy did a nice job setting up the first 2, and unfortunately for Michelle, she ended up helping the guard situation out.
I think we call that the peel of shame at some point. Somebody might have to make that one. Line looks a little tight here, guys. Oh, no, it's actually straightening out a little bit.
Sue Garner trying to get closer to the rings. Looks like she might get a piece of it.
Oh, just a little short.
A little short.
Just a little short.
Good position to tap up behind all those guards.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Michelle's going to call for a second attempt at the draw here on the opposite side. Yeah, sweepers aren't interested in sweeping this one. This one's a little wide, looks like.
Michelle looking to play the angle raise now with it being out there.
And here it comes, Mike. Looks like she's going to get a piece of it. Does not know if it's going to be enough. Not quite enough to make the rings.
Looks like first one in might win this end.
Yeah, that's a great wall of China up front here.
Well, Sue's had her chance to throw this shot once. Should know the weight better this time. Give a little tap, and she might be behind the wall.
Yeah, it looks like she's got a good crack at this one. Oh, Joyce calling her right out of her hand. Looks like she's going for the outside raise, maybe? Seems to be slowly getting a little bit wide. Not enough weight, I don't think, Mike, to push too far.
We got one in.
We got one in. Right on the 4-foot line.
Partially guarded from one of those center guards. Michelle's trying to see if it's hittable or not.
Well, it looks like she's giving... Yep, she's going to make that call, Mike, looks like. No, but she's still debating. Oh, and right back to it. Yeah, calling for some pretty tight ice here. It seems to be falling just a little bit on the outside. Very weight sensitive, we saw from the earlier game today. Donna appears to be right on the broom here, but the sweepers are on this one right out of her hand. See if they can hold it. Nope, looks like she's got the guard. Yep.
And spun it forward.
Not quite down to it. Oh, just about. Only a few inches in between those stones there.
Made for another beautiful raise for Joyce's team. So Joyce is holding the broom down at the other end, but she's coming up to shoot the third rocks. And Sue Williams will be shooting the skip rocks.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I wasn't paying attention.
I think Joyce is much happier when she doesn't have to do any sweeping.
I can't say I blame her. Joyce in the hack now, getting ready to shoot. All right, and the rock's off, Mike.
Probably could hit either one of these rocks and get a raise out of it, but she looks like she's going to be on the one she wants to hit. Just don't know if she has enough oomph to make a big change in it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, does it? This one's starting to check up and starting to curl now.
It was just a little tap.
Yeah, she looks like she only pushed it about 6 inches, so at least they got 2 solid rocks in the house, though.
She's going to look to clean this up a little bit and hit something. She could hit the one that's just pushed forward and flop in behind the corner guards. Well, I guess it's the center guards, cornered to where these yellow rocks are.
Yeah, it looks like she's given Erlene a couple of choices here. Nope, she's going to go after that one just off center. All right, rock is off. This one coming back nicely, but it looks like it's going to nose hit it, Mike. Oh, they got lucky with the rub up front.
They're able to remove one rock, stay in for second, and expose shot rock.
Not bad at all.
Good end result there. Joyce still skipping from down at this position, pulling the ice for Sue as she's not familiar, as she's not holding the broom the whole end. Joyce is going to try to draw and get around the guards, sit 2.
And it looks like it's still falling out. Very weight sensitive on that curl on that side.
Yeah, she's going to put the rock right next to the other one that's in the house and possibly set up a double.
Maybe get a little separation there. Not too bad.
Show's looking to hit and roll the one that's deeper in the house and probably wants to roll a little bit more than just behind the yellow rock that's there and not set up the easier straight back raise. If she can roll behind the blue rocks, it'd be much better hidden.
And now you can see too, Mike, she's tightening up the ice a little bit, so they're starting to figure out that very weight sensitive on that side, a little bit of weight. All right, sweep call is on. Rock still appears to be falling out.
Made contact, but hit the nose, and is now second rock, still not out counting the yellow rock. So blue's got 2 in with hammer. So that yellow rock's becoming very important that they're sitting there in the center of the sheet.
The Schaefer rink with a great opportunity here for a nice tap up. That rock wide open at this point.
She's got lots of protection. If she knows hits it back it or hits it left, hits it right, she'll be behind cover. It still looks like they're playing a lot of ice where it has not seemed to be curling.
All right. So Sue Williams getting ready to get into the hack. Looks like they're having a conversation, second guess this ice call a little bit. With Joyce tightening up the room a little bit, but still leaving it pretty far out there.
Joyce is yelling sweep.
Oh, and here it comes back nicely now, Mike. Oh, it is definitely.
Line is nice.
A little bit lighter. Sweeper's rock here. Gonna get an angle race to the left. Tucked under cover, nicely. Nicely done.
You can probably see third to a half of the rock at this point. Does seem like there's a heavy cut at the end here, so they should be able to, with the right weight, get to most of this rock.
And ideally here, if you can just hit enough of it to take it out and roll back behind the other bunch of guards, that would be an ideal shot. Is it 1-2?
1-2, and yeah, it looks like 2.
It's quite the house setup over on shoot 4 too. A lot going on over there. All right,
Michelle shot is off, and
looks good, Mike. The sweepers are not interested in touching this one
it's
either.
floating out.
Yeah, it sure
They
is.
might need to play off the other yellow rock.
Looks like it'll come in a little bit. They'll get a little bit of a roll the other direction. Not enough to out count. But still sitting now second rock.
Very tricky part of ice right there. Like Dave said, it's a little weight sensitive. A little bit of weight, it does not come back.
Not coming back at all.
She's going to look to throw the guard up. She has two options here. She could throw the guard to protect the one. It would leave an open draw probably for Michelle. She also could draw down right on top of her rock, tap that a little bit and sit 2. And give Michelle a tougher shot to shoot against. I think she's going for the draw here. I mean, not the draw, the guard.
The guard, yeah, with that ice, it looks like that would be. Yeah, it looks like guard weight, maybe a little up.
They're sweeping, but now Joyce is calling him up.
And it looks like this one's going to come deep, Mike.
Yeah, throw me in the rings. They can go around their yellow rock. It's not the end of the world unless it's deep.
Looks like it's there on its own.
Yeah, it's a back 4 draw. Gives Michelle something she can use as a backer to draw it to. I find it's very important for your sweepers, to, if they're stopwatching, to have timed that last rock. It really gives an aid to Michelle on how fast that rock went. A lot of people like to time only their own team rocks, and they forget to time the other team's rocks, and they can learn so much more from the other teams on a shot like that.
It looks like Michelle's going to change her, yep, it's a change in ice call there.
She's just going to try to draw it to the face of that yellow one, or just outcount it. She's solid 4 foot for a 1.
Last rock, first end. Michelle McEnroe looking to score 1, facing 2 yellow stones.
The line looks good for the draw. It just needs to be the right weight now.
Looks like it's got plenty of weight.
It's curling in nicely for the backing.
Oh, and she might end up
Tapped
right
it.
by it.
No,
no,
she's able
stuck
to get
it.
a 1.
Yes.
Made a nice shot.
Nicely done.
Good change of ice. She narrowed it up, and she just got a piece of it.
Just curled enough.
Well, sometimes with game savers, it's a 3-point swing if she misses that shot.
Little beverage pause there, Mike.
Michelle starting the end off with a center guard, playing on the ice that they were playing on, so this should be up to speed on this side. I, as a skip, like to play the other side and get that broken in a little bit, so when I get up to shoot, I've got 2 paths I can use.
Absolutely. You go through just about every rock down this line. Looks to be a really nice center guard here. A very nice center line guard.
Joyce looking to come in the house out to the wings. Some people like to play around those center guards. Some people like to play out to the wings.
Well, this one looks like it's got a lot of weight. Sweepers are waving this one off. Looks to be a touch wide. We might get a raise here for Team McEnroe. Doesn't look like it's going to come across. Maybe split it over a little bit. Not much. Not a bad result.
Weight was nice for the shot. Maybe she need a little less ice. Michelle going to ask Jan Rischel to remove that rock.
And this one's starting to move on her. Ooh, they're going to have to hurry for a piece, Mike.
That's all they're going to get is a little piece, and everything's going to stick around. Very little light on that. Michelle thinks she can give her a little more ice, too. That was the slower side. They hadn't played in the first end. Joyce is calling for a takeout right now, but I think Joyce is forgetting about the free guard zone. And her team is now going to alert her to that.
I was going to say, I wasn't exactly sure what she was trying to do there.
She asked for a big weight takeout. Sue Gardner discussing that strategy call.
Well, Joyce just remembered that. You can tell by the look on her face.
Right. Apologize to her team and coming back.
I can't say that hasn't happened to us before.
Sometimes after we hit it, we're told about it.
And everyone's getting a good laugh out of that one, so that's good. I think we were playing the other day, Mike, and my skip forgot that we had hammer. So we were kind of wondering where the calls were coming from, and took a couple rocks to remind him, but it happens to the best of us.
Absolutely. It happens to all of us. So she changed the call now to freeze down to the blue rock that's in the back. Try to sit 2. Freeze isn't a bad call, allows it to protect that rock from being hit out.
This one looks like it's got some weight to it, but sweeping for line here.
It's enough to tap in. As long as they're on line, they'll be okay. Looks like a nice shot.
Yeah, that looks pretty solid.
Sitting 2. Michelle's going to ignore those rocks. See if she can set up the steal a little bit better. Asking Donna to draw tight to the rings or around the center guard.
This one looks like it's going to be probably a little deeper than the guard, Mike. Let's say get a rub here. This one's going to go behind for sure.
Sweeping by. It looks like a nice shot.
Looks like a very nice shot. Gonna finish it here.
Nice draw.
Yeah, it's
Very
a beauty.
nice draw.
So I had these other 2 consolation event games up. I went right from the draw board, guys, but evidently, as you could look out in the ice, these are not the original matchups I had. It was supposed to be. I had these, I had what was it? Brown. Wait, never mind. Well, anyway, these are the games. I'm not sure which is B, which is C. I don't even know if they have a B or C. So this is the champion. This is for the championship on sheet 3. So.
Yep.
Well, we'll keep you posted on these scores on other sheets.
Joyce is asking to remove the guard at this point to expose the one that Donna drew around. Looks like she's going to get a nice push off, and she might get another rock in the rings.
Well, looks like it's going to stick around.
Yep.
The old snake whip.
Opened it up, so Michelle's going to try to cover it, but Michelle's playing with fire here as yellow starts to fill the house up.
All right, Donna Caleo's rock is off.
That's right. Yeah. Before I had it, I had Jones on sheet 2, Mike.
Oh, and this looks like to be a beautiful guard from Donna. Guard up that blue rock on the top of the forefoot. Nicely done.
I think Joyce is going to try to open that up again. You can see a third of the rock from one side, but I think we would try making that shot to clear the guard off, but if we just slid by, we could pick off that rock.
Yeah, I think if you try to get squirrely and try to go for a double here, you got a nice jam into the back corner.
Right?
Yeah, it looks like that's the call, Mike. Looks like it's going to be the peel off that guard up front.
Plus it gets confusing when the skip isn't skipping and throwing skip rocks. It is, Sue Williams does have a second rock. Might not even be Sue Williams' turn yet. The seconds are still shooting.
Good thing is we know somebody will get in the hack and throw a rock here pretty soon, so that's all good.
Hey, Sue was all set to go. Sue Gardner.
She knew what was going on. All right, rock is off. This one's a little tight for a peel here. Want to keep it off nose. It's like they're holding it, but not.
They're going to lose one and leave the guard up. There's a partial difference between the men and the women. The men would throw a lot more weight at a shot like that.
Absolutely.
There are a few women out here who can throw that kind of weight, but the majority of them throw more under control.
All right, and Michelle calling for, looks like another guard here. Tucked right behind that yellow stone. Eliminate that raise. Takeout possibility. Line looks good here.
Stupid to try to get by and not rub off this and open it up. It's
Like
coming
we're
up
gonna
hard.
get the rub. Yep, looks like we are.
Might open this wide open. Nope, not enough weight to open it up
Bad.
fully.
Not too bad.
There's a little hole there. It is possible to get through, but Joyce is looking to clear the blue top one off. Try to make a double. I don't know if she gets on the other end. The hole might look bigger to her. She might think about coming through the hole.
Yeah, we know it's pretty straight there with a little bit of extra weight, so they definitely hold it through there.
Hey, Mike, is Kim out there watching? I haven't seen a comment from Burgle Bunny
I
yet.
don't know if she's watching today's
Okay.
game. She said if she was going to say hello.
Maybe we get a shout out from Scotland too, if Roger and MJ, Julie, and Charlie over in Scotland. I think they were leaving. I think they left yesterday.
They left
so-
yesterday.
They did, yep.
Yeah.
So it'd be 8:34 in Scotland right now. So PM.
They might be drinking scotch somewhere.
Yeah.
Put YouTube up on a Chromecast
Yeah,
at some
that's
Scottish
right.
pub. That'd be awesome.
I just told them they weren't allowed to come back unless they brought bottles of scotch
Yeah.
back with them. So
Joyce's shot is off, and got to curl a little bit to be chance at a double. It's starting to come now. Here it comes. Going to make contact with both of them, but again, not a lot of weight here.
not a lot at all. Just going to push that one back a couple feet. So blue still sitting 1-2 here.
Able to push shot rock behind the tee line, which would give an out for Joyce's team. Shell trying to stop that draw down to it.
All right, Erling's rock is off. I think this one's a little light. Sweeper's on it. Shell call right on it. This one's going to start to cut any second here, and here it goes.
Caught this one a little bit earlier, so she was able to hold it out nicely. She's got a nice line on this one now.
A little deep. Now we got all kinds of possibilities here now, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
Got a chance for
Chance for a double here.
Another double
But
here.
no matter what happens, Joyce will still not be shot. Yellow rock
absolutely.
won't advance. Some of our hard-throwing men would be smelling triple here. That possibility does exist,
Sure does.
but you need to throw some weight at that.
Yeah, that would be parking lot, as we so lovingly call it. What a nice shot over on sheet 4. Just snuck by 2 guards, squeak one right in, push back, and
Cal Jones
Take
was
the
shooting
lead.
against 3 there.
yeah,
Made a beautiful shot
beautiful
to
shot.
sit 1.
All right, and it looks like Mike, she's definitely going to bring more weight here. She's got just about negative ice on this. And there's the weight. You can see that a little outside, though.
She yelled sweep and she released it. She might need to come up with the weight that she threw. It still isn't a bomb.
No.
It's coming up now. Definitely going to clear out the 1. Might go through the hole, though. Jam on the other one.
Jam, yeah.
Oops, still row deep. So blue's still sitting 2. Yellow's got 3, 4, and 5 in. No real chance for any double activity with the way the blue rocks are positioned. So Michelle will try to guard this again.
Well, all kinds of grunting and groaning over there. Sounds like we got some wildlife in the shed.
I do believe it's on the sheet your wife is on.
Yes, it is, Mike. Yes, it is. She's pretty vocal. She's fun to curl with.
I bet. Shows her last rock here, trying to guard. No matter what she does, Joyce should have. Well, Sue will be shooting. That's her first rock, but Sue would have a chance to draw back to the one that's behind the tee line.
They're really line critical on this guard.
This one's out a little further than Arlene's guard was, but it's starting to come now.
That'd be a nice guard weight for sure.
Probably a little shorter than the other guard, so it didn't fully curl to the center line. It could be a path, but you got to throw some weight to get through this path.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be tough. It looks like they're looking at the outside. No, they are going back down. Okay. Going for that that yellow raise to the button. All right, so definitely the call here, going for the yellow raise for that guard yellow rock to the button with the backer.
Here she needs to just get past the top blue one, but if she does rub off it a little bit, she can flop in to be shot. So she's got two different ways to get shot out of this.
All right, Sue Williams' rock is off. No line or sweeping call here.
Well, Joyce is down on it and starting to curl up.
Looks to be a good shot so far. Line's tightening up.
Weight's good. Looks like a nice shot.
Yeah, direct.
Need to have the right
perfect.
weight. And it's
Nicely
a beauty.
done, nicely done. This is
Might
going to be
be-
enough.
go.
Forward,
Might be
right?
second shot. We don't have the best angle behind the glass, but it looks like it's not shot rock.
Oh, must be awful tight.
They're looking hard at it. She'll trying to decide to throw a guard up or tap up the blue one that's sitting outside the one that they're questioning for shot. That's what it looks like
I
she's
don't know.
calling.
Yeah, it looks like she's calling, but boy, we know it's not curling out there with the. Gotta make sure that weight is right on target. And that's an awful lot of ice for that. So maybe they're assuming that they're shot with that call. And maybe guarding up that blue.
No, she's trying to tap the blue. They're blue. So she's trying to tap it up.
So she's trying to tap it through.
That one's
Okay, yeah, that's
definitely
right.
not
Yeah, well,
shot.
I'm looking at the wrong colors. Yeah.
She wants to tap up that blue. Probably third rock right now.
Well, we'll see what the line does here coming back to the glass. It does appear to be a little bit more ice than some of the previous calls. She's definitely coming with more weight here.
A little bit of curl might not be bad. Right now it's a little out.
I
Weight's
don't
not
think
bad,
we're
but
getting enough. I don't think we're
too
going to get
straight.
enough, Mike. Yep, pretty straight out there with that weight.
Looks like Sue's going to draw it for the 4-foot around the guards.
You just heard Joy say it might hang out here depending on your weight. So she's calling for back 12 weight here. Maybe we'll take the wick off the yellow to roll in.
Why not try that same shot, Mike and Dave, that she just threw?
Well, if yellow is shot, you certainly don't want to move the
Right.
yellow one. If it's not shot, there's no reason not to try that unless they're afraid they don't hit it right
So
and
is
they
this
knock the blue up.
Confirming that this is, they think yellow is shot?
It's a risky shot, too,
Yeah.
because the yellow-blue combo, if you over-curl
Sure.
that spot. Right.
Last rock. Susan Williams throwing skip stones for Team Schaefer. Second end.
Now this one definitely a little outside.
Might be looking for that wick if it curls enough to get the wick.
Looks like they're going to get the wrong wick.
They're looking for any wick right now because
Yeah.
she's way out there.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough, Mike.
And not enough weight.
Not enough weight at all.
So they're still looking at the
Yeah.
two rocks.
Are they going to get the stick out, I think?
Got 3 of them all awful close together. Now we know. Okay, so
Okay,
that one blue is out of play.
I'm not going to
So
measure
it's
the
definitely
other.
the 2. Yeah.
So you guys want to run through some of the teams in the consolation events out there? I know we have some subs. These were the original rosters.
Over on
but-
sheet 2, and actually both games are at 1-1 at the end of 2, but on sheet 2, Cindy Brown's rink is out there, and see she's got Liz DiGeronimo, Liz Nolan, and Kathy Davis. And I thought Kathy Palazzoli was on that team too, so that could be a sub for Kathy on that team. And they're facing the Foot Sisters.
Melissa's skipping.
Melissa and Audrey are there.
That's Bigfoot and Littlefoot.
And the rest of that team, I know they have a sub for Eileen Sunderhaft. I don't think she's here today.
She is here.
Eileen is here. Okay, I'm sorry. Eileen's out
She's
there. And Becky. How do you say her last name?
Is it Shui?
Shui? Becky Shui? Becky Shui is out there.
Yeah, nice tight game too.
And over on sheet 4, we've got Carol Jones's team against Karen Rogowski's team. And Carol has Dave's wife Beth is on that team, I do believe.
Yeah, she's playing Vice.
Playing Vice for her, okay. Bernie DeMayo is out there. I do believe she's subbing for Eileen Sunder. No, not Eileen. Tammy Dunnigan, who took ill. And Karen Barnes is out there too.
We didn't see who. They kicked them both away. We didn't know who. We'll be able to tell. Yep. Oh, looks like Yellowstone. So it was 1 yellow there.
They had made the good raise, so it was a good reason not to tap up that one. They did explain it, why they weren't doing that shot, even though it was that close to measure. And back on sheet 4, Karen Rogowski has her team. They lost a real nail-biter in the semifinal game. Karen tells me she missed an open hit for the win, which is always frustrating.
She sure did. She just missed it.
I did that last year in our Cobb semifinal game, and she didn't let me live it down, but now she can shut up about it. But she has a strong team out there. She's got Brenda Citroniti and Melon Safinsky.
Yep, Nyoka.
And Nyoka Law. Very strong team.
That's a fantastic team.
Yeah, both semifinals were tight. The semifinal between Cindy Brown's team and Joyce was an extra end game, extra ends.
So good competition here. And for the men out there, this is the women's championship like we do for the Murray. Unfortunately, they don't have a bonspiel to play in when it's over with like we do for the Mitchell. They've talked about it for years, about putting a women's bonspiel
Well,
here.
they have that Empire State bonspiel, so that's kind of, they're...
Yeah, it's just the clubs from the New York State.
Right.
I'm talking about an invitational where they come down from Canada and from all over.
Okay. Well, still, though, that's a pretty well-attended event, popular event.
Yes.
We had it last year here. Cindy's Brown was victorious in that spiel. They
repeated this year, and they beat the
back-to-back.
same team from Wisconsin this year.
Coming up, what was it, a steal of 3?
Yes.
And the last 10 to win.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch.
And the Dykes going on this weekend. I think I see Mitch over there. He was playing in the Dykes, so they must have come back today. Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Never good when you're home on Saturday from a
that's
bonspiel.
I thought you guys were playing on Sunday, though. Weren't you in the beer event? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
They have a 56-team event in Broomstones, and
On a 4-sheet club, that's a challenge.
it started on Wednesday, so that's a tough bonspiel.
Yeah.
Start on Wednesday.
Yeah, I watched Dan's game and Mitch's game yesterday at 4 o'clock on the live webcast. So Friday at 4, you're basically out of the spiel.
Wow.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough.
That is tough. That is tough.
They had what Broomstones was doing is they're running like so similar to what we do with an F event, but they didn't even have a finale. So they put everybody into the E event, and then they had everybody play a 6-end game, and they give the points like a Charbonneau format. Top 3 would get a prize. That's
Probably
how
to
they
speed things through.
just to keep them hanging around because so
Right.
many teams dropped out on Friday and Saturday morning. So
Yeah, that's tough. That's why all bonspiels should be held at Utica Curling Club.
Yes.
Especially when you have 56 teams.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're about the only club that can handle that. Of course, Schenectady does share it with Albany.
Right.
So that gives them 6 sheets, and that helps them out quite a bit.
Roger had a really good idea. He said, why not just have like a mega site, like have Broomstones combined with Nashua, because they're close enough of a drive,
right.
like Albany, Schenectady, and Potomac, Chesapeake, maybe
Sure.
could do something similar. They're close enough.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If
Oh boy, I tell you, it's great to see the 5-year numbers, 5-year and under numbers.
Yes, the
grow
Olympics
like that.
have really helped the 5-year and under numbers.
Absolutely. And even our mixed event last weekend with the Cobb was fantastic. 36 teams.
36 teams.
Full
Yep,
field.
Full field for the Cobb.
And we probably could have had more teams, really. We had people waiting, I think.
We had a waiting list.
It's great. Good to see, and we appreciate everybody coming to visit us at the Utica Curling Club. So if we've got any people watching from out there, please come visit us. Sign up for a team and come down at the many events we have down here. Guarantee you a good time. I promise you that.
and the corporate rentals too.
Absolutely.
Always out there. Cindy's
Always.
a shout out from Cindy Ciarelli in the chat. Hi, Cindy. Glad you're enjoying the coverage today.
Back to sheet 3. Yellow's been dominating this end. We don't see any blue rocks in play. Michelle looking to clean up a little bit right now. Looking for a hit and roll.
Did you ever get your Apple TV hooked up, Mike?
Not yet.
I have an added incentive for you to do so, which I'll tell you about in a minute.
Okay.
All right.
This rock's curling hard right now. Going to get a piece of the yellow rock. Probably roll out with it.
Okay, so everyone knows that ESPN3 has been simulcasting all the TSN coverage, but for the first time ever, TSN is going to do 2 games on some draws. Now, I don't think all of them.
We're talking about the Briar?
Yes, so the Briar's going on all this week. So like right now at 3:30, the opening draw is going to have 2 sets of games going. So not just one
We'll have the
feed.
split screen going on?
No, they have because TSN's like ESPN, they have like TSN 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and
Okay.
ESPN is picking up all 5 TSNs.
Oh, that's great.
So like if you look at ESPN 3, they have 2 games listed for
So you can
3:30
pick the game
today.
you want to watch.
Yeah, pick,
Ah.
and they're going to be doing that all week. So
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great.
So get it hooked up, Mike.
Yeah.
Julie Chinetri said she has it. She loves it. She was raving about it on the broadcast the other day, how much she loves it.
I'll have to break the box back out and read the directions again.
You'll be up in 5 seconds. It's easy.
All right, so another guard dropped right up in front.
They got 2 nice center guards. They left the rock open on the side, which was not a great rock to protect, but does give Michelle that chance to hit and roll again. This is the area in the first end that was very straight.
And you heard Michelle just confirm that as well. She said, if you're a little wide, that's okay. Let's just get a piece of this rock. Wherever we roll, we roll.
Michelle thinks she's tight. She's sweeping it.
Oh, now calling them up.
Yeah, they're able to drag it out. It's just straight here.
Yeah.
Where
sure
she
is.
thought she was tight, she just straightened it right out and hit the nose.
Yeah, no sweeping there. Probably would have been a perfect hit and roll.
Yeah, now Joyce, watching that shot, is now going to call a hit and roll on this rock with much tighter ice.
It's just scary from a sweeping viewpoint to see it look like it needs to be swept, and you just straighten it right back out with it.
Yeah, and that has been the challenge. You think you're narrow, but you're waiting for it to hit its peak.
Right.
And it's still, sometimes it never does. It just keeps falling out. I'll have to have a conversation with the ice crew. I don't know those guys. I'll tell you, they're shady.
Dave, our head ice technician here at the club, in case someone's joining in from outside the membership.
So it's great when he comes down and watches his own ice, and he knows what he has to do to correct it.
Absolutely.
First tries away, and she's yelling sweep, and it's not the right thing to be doing.
Yeah, she pushed that out a little bit, but not a lot of weight. Is it coming back?
It's just straight there.
It's just really, really straight. She's going to catch the outside of this rock. If she's lucky, she might nose it, but it looks like she's going to get the outside. Hopefully enough weight to push it through.
Well, let's see.
Sue Williams trying to get it through the rings.
It is. Those lively,
out.
reconditioned
Out.
running
Right.
surfaces. Or I'm sorry, the striking bands. Helping out there.
Michelle is, well,
And
now
the
she's gonna
running
draw.
surfaces, too. They also talk about how lively those rocks are, but the speed of the ice makes a big
Right.
difference in the house, too,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
It sure does.
Here on 26-second ice, the rocks are just
They're flying.
Yeah. What do you think we're at right now, Dave? Out there?
I'd say we're probably at about probably 24, with gusts up to maybe 24 and a half. Yeah, so not the quickest ice we've delivered. We like to stay around
That's
24,
what they say,
25.
24,
That's what they
24-4, right?
Yep, that's what they requested. World Championships and
Yeah.
Yep.
Briars 24-4, but sometimes you hear them talking about 25 to 26-second ice. That's not really what they're looking for.
Yeah, 26-second ice is just ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
Really trying that straight side again, and they swept it and just hung it out there. And
That one's going to stick around. Back quadrant with a 12-foot.
Bill's getting that opportunity to put a steal in here. They've got the two nice guards up. Sue's looking to either tap, draw around, hasn't decided which way she wants to do it. Looks like they're playing the Rays.
Yeah, so Joyce calling for her preference on the
No,
the
what's
tap up.
interesting here is that they're playing less ice, and it might not be as straight as you come to the 4-foot line. You might find this will curl a little bit more.
See what kind of weight she throws through, Mike. That's really going to determine what's going on. This one looks like it's got some oomph. And she did throw it out a little bit, it looks like. So if she does get a raise here, it's probably going to be the outside corner. It is coming back a little bit, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Might be able to get it right by.
They're by, but it might be right through.
Oh, it sure is.
Michelle's sweeping out the back of the house there.
Now, a possibility there, if they maybe
Right.
they knew the weight, they could have kept it, swept it straight, and took it back to the blue in the back corner there. But
So important if the front end can judge it, you let the skip know. A lot of times they think it's close, and or if they even know that it's not close, they just don't voice it. And such a big key to communicate out there on the ice.
absolutely, absolutely.
So blue is in the house, sitting one. We think that yellow is outside the rings from our overhead vantage point.
It looks like we're calling for a draw here.
Probably be a little bit. Well, Michelle's going to sweep. I thought they might wait a little bit. How it sucks out here.
Looks like she's a little light. But this one, yeah, as expected, is hanging out there.
To finish now.
Yeah, it's cutting.
They can drag it in there. It'll finish more, but
Oh, there you
stop,
go.
stop, 12.
Line two, though.
Line 2 and no double possibility to get the back one out.
The guy's cheering over on sheet 2 with an incredibly tight guard. I don't even know if that you can get any closer than that.
Yeah. We have a score update there. Okay, blue took 2. Cindy took 2 with a hammer.
She took
Took
2.
two.
On
So
sheet 2.
through 3, a hammer flips back over to the feet.
And Karen took 1 in the third end on sheet 4 to go up 2-1. Karen Rogalski.
Yeah.
Sue and Joyce discussing their options to hit out the blue rock or raise up the yellow rock. The ice is probably the same for both, so we're not going to know which one they're throwing.
And it looks like, yeah, that's what Joyce just talked about, Mike. Looks like she pointed to it briefly and said, look, if you slide out wide, we'll take it down to the back one. If you hit the front one, hit the front one.
So Joyce is the skip of this team. Susan throwing skip rocks.
She's trying to make a hit on the blue rock.
It looks like she's definitely got
It's
the top
curling.
one. Yeah. She's gonna
Catch
probably.
the yellow one.
Yeah, it looks like she is.
If they catch it thin, they can tap it up. If she did tap it, she shot, but wide open at this point. Blue will be able to sit 3 with the
Michelle's definitely going to remove that stone. Just lie 3. And for those of you who might have joined late, we'll have the team introductions again at after the 4th end break.
I'm sure Michelle would like to hit this rock and roll underneath the guard. She'll have a nice setup to sit 3.
Move Dave's. Sit it on his chair. Thanks, Mike.
Still trying for the takeout through a downweight shot at it. And there's a loud scream for sweep as it's cutting very hard. But she's going to hit it good and take it out. She's going to roll into the ring. Going to stay open in the right between the 2 guards.
Yeah, it looks like blue is still sitting 3. Is still. I'm sorry. The yellow one that Michelle wasn't removed, but that's force rock.
Right. Yeah, so blue is 3. Shot rock is open to a port.
Oh, I hear some Drambuie discussions out there.
Yeah.
Well, the 4th end coming up. Some
Yeah.
teams have been known to stack their brooms and come in for a refreshment.
I would love to see it. My arm was twisted. I could possibly go over there and join them. I don't know.
So I know they got to be throwing a takeout at something here. It looks like they're shooting at the top one.
Big stone for Susan here. This with blue sitting 3 in the house. Her last rock at the end.
But I tell you, you need to make sure you have the right weight here because I'd be very tempted with a little bit more weight to call some negative ice here. And there's that drift.
She's all over the top one.
Yeah.
Whether she can remove 2 of them or not is the next
Yeah,
question.
there are enough velocity.
One gone, the other one not enough.
Not quite.
So blue is sitting 2 and has a draw for 3. This needs to be solid 12 to count 3.
right, so you hear Michelle confirming. Just trying to draw here. Front to back, she's got to play with. All right, final skip stone is off.
She's out there, no fear of hitting a guard, just a matter of dropping it in the 8-foot. Sweepers are sweeping it.
Oh, it looks like the sweepers are going to have to go.
Marlene's running out to help.
Oh, is it going to be enough?
It's short.
Not
No,
gonna
so
make
two
the
blue.
house.
You know, as a skip, I hate when I do that.
Me too.
They come back and haunt you, those extra points you don't pick up.
Do.
So Broomstones, shout out to them. They have a really nice streaming setup going now.
Is somebody broadcasting the games like we do here?
You know, actually, that's the only thing they don't have is they didn't have any announcers. Maybe if they're doing that just for the finals or something.
Okay.
But they did every single draw.
So they just got their camera
And they
going.
had it on sheets 2 and 3 too. So they had 2 live events for every draw going.
Okay.
And they actually let the person do the switching because YouTube has a feature built in where you can have multiple cameras in the same window. And so they would say like odd ends, even ends. So like you'd watch them go down,
Okay.
then they'd hit that little button and then you could watch them come back. It was really
You did see that with the Ardsley feed too when the women were down there.
Yep. So
Yeah,
that's a nice feature of YouTube that they have that. We could never do that here. We don't have enough bandwidth. We need Verizon Fios in this area is what we need. And
And I thought we were technically challenged here.
Don't get me on my soapbox.
Yeah,
I'm going to go
okay.
there.
so, but I'll try to hook up some because we're going to do every single draw of the Branch Colts coming up. So
Nice.
even if
Oh,
it's
nice, that'd be
unattended, we'll just we may not have announcers.
Do
but I
people
think,
know what the Branch Colts
Yeah,
are?
well, you could help explain that a little bit too. I did a little research on that. It's why don't we save it for the broadcast? It's the 5-year and under association up in
They call themselves the Colts up there in Canada,
right
the 5-year and under.
so it's in Quebec and Ottawa, right? So they
2 regions are going to come to play against the GNCC 5 and under teams.
And they limit it to a 24-team spiel, so they have some kind of a circuit up there amongst 5-year and under teams. When I was looking at the Ottawa Valley one, they have like 3 separate 5 and under bond spiels, and the top point getters
So you earn the right to come.
get to come. So and
There'll
then
be 8 from each region that'll be
correct.
Oh, that's nice.
And the way we're doing it for the GNCC is we're going to take the top 4, all the medal event winners in the Dykes and the
there.
Kaiser.
It is an open event,
Yes.
men
Right.
and women.
Right. Yeah. No restriction on format. So.
Women's challenge teams too also will have a shot at that, I imagine.
I think that's going on the same weekend.
Is
though,
it?
I believe. Yeah.
That'll get us in trouble.
Yeah. It was funny when I looked at that Ottawa Valley. They had a standings board, and I saw a guy, Matt Gallegos from Ardsley, who's a really good 5-year and under curler. His name was on the board, so I was like, "Why? I would have loved to go up there and play in those events. I wish we'd known about this before."
We actually GNCC curls can go up and play in the.
I saw his
Canadian.
name in one of the events.
Okay.
He accumulated points in their standings. So I was
Okay.
like, "How does that?"
Nice.
Yeah, but that was the only GNCC club that I recognized. I mean, it was the only one on the list. Excuse me.
That event at the Dykes is going on this weekend. What I worry
Mike,
about
could you
is
get your Mike? I can't hear you.
it's
Go ahead.
with that event starting Wednesday and going through Sunday. I'm hoping those same curls can make it back here in a few weeks.
Right,
Difference
right.
in time to get that same time
Well,
off.
really, with a 24-team spiel and 6 sheets, they could even start at Friday at noon. Probably get it in, right? Mike?
Yeah, Brian Moore's running that event. I'm not sure how he's planning that right now.
But just counting up the number of draws. I mean, 24 teams,
So much
12,
easier than 56.
12 at a time can
Sure.
play. So boom, 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 boom. And they're not going to do a pools. I know that they're going to do sort of a regular bracket type of.
Well, that'll be the inaugural one this season. I'm sure it'll rotate between the 3 regions.
Right. Yeah, Dave. I mean, Dave and I are just coming out of the 5 years, and I never heard of that.
I
before
never
this year.
had. I never had.
It's a good thing. Who knows? Maybe that's the blueprint for a 75-team Dykes in the future. They have a couple,
right.
have a couple 5-year and under men's events, and then the top finishers go to the Dykes and bang heads. You know, they get the field shrunken down. They open it up. Have
Make
one
for-
in Potomac. Have one up here every year. You can play in both if you want.
Yeah, it makes for some great competition.
Yeah.
For sure.
That way you don't have. I mean, because you know what's going to happen is Charlotte and Raleigh are going to grow.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're going to want to come
They're
up
already
and play.
growing now,
right.
yeah.
And they're in the GNCC, and they're
Sure.
going to want to come up and play in these events.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about, I think in the Philly region, they're talking about opening up another club here pretty soon.
Yep. And Pittsburgh's
They
going to
have
have
the Arena
dedicated
Club
ice.
down there, the Bucks County
Yeah.
Arena
Right.
Club down in
Right.
the Philly
and
area.
Pittsburgh's building a club, so you know that's
Yeah.
going to take off, big metro area.
Yeah,
so.
we found out through one of the Cobb curlers that there's somebody else interested in opening another club out by Philly.
Another
around
one
the Philly
by
area.
Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 2-sheeter was crazy for
They
that
have a
size.
waiting list right now with the Philadelphia Curling
Yeah.
Club with their 2-sheeter.
Yeah.
The big cities have really benefited from the Olympic
Right.
events that are taking place. And
Yeah, Broomstones and Potomac both had 7 Dykes teams in the draw.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But you know where you're seeing the growth is in the arena clubs. When you look at the team list, you see Virginia sent 2 teams. Bucks County had 2 teams. Merrimack Valley, that they leased Nashua's ice, they had 3 teams.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
it's all
great.
these smaller clubs are. You know, Petersham had 3 teams. You know, that little 2-sheet club in Western Mass. So it's but interestingly, Belfast didn't send a team. So I would have thought that club's doing well from what I heard. But maybe they're just not like getting a lot of newer.
Right.
Want to go up to northern Maine and live? I guess maybe tough sell.
It is probably a little bit of a hike too, I would imagine.
we thought Utica, New York was a tough sell.
Yeah, that's right. This looks like this is going to be a nice draw here from Donna Caleo. A little too much weight, though, it looks like. Line was good.
Michelle did try to sweep it for the little tick, you redirect it, and slow it down.
But to finish that thought with Broomstones, you know, check it out. Go to Broomstones, search for Broomstones webcasting, or actually just go to their website, broomstones.com, if you want to watch some of the remainder of the Dykes. Again, it's wrapping up tomorrow at 12:45 is the final. And it's very good coverage.
Oh, this one looks like this has got a little bit of weight here.
Joyce changing it to a raise, but as it curls, it's just going to end up being a split. We got one rock in.
And shot rock.
Shot rock.
Everybody's been trying to draw to the forefoot. I think Michelle will follow suit and still try to draw down.
I'm not so sure I'd go after that outside yellow rock there.
No.
I don't know that we're going to come into play there. That's our Erlene Pulio throwing her first rock.
Ball and try to get around the yellow guard.
Weight looks to be good here, Mike.
It
Just
looks like
lying
they're
on
getting.
it. They can get it past this yellow guard. It'll be nice. It doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Checked up. Oh, lots of guards in front, and Joyce is going to try to figure out a way to get in there or get rid of one of these rocks and stop them from raising it up. And those hit here leaves her with a good shot to raise one up later. Joyce feels this ice is very straight here. She's playing on the rock.
If she hits it just right angle, she might get both of them. A little hanger on at the back here on the center line. All right, so we'll have a scoring update here over on sheet 2 in a minute, as soon as we see how that end wrapped up. Guys completing the fourth end. That looks to be
Yeah.
looks to be the foot team
Joyce looks a
taking the fourth. Not sure how many.
Joyce a little outside here. She might tap them up with this shot.
Oh, I see a jam here on the yellow. Well, maybe not. Oh, just squeaked by. Now McEnroe giving Pulio an option here to go after this blue or go after the outside yellow.
So it's a tap on the blue to try to get to the 4-foot, or it's a hit on the yellow to cut out the scoring chances.
Looks like they're going to opt for the
Still likes the raise.
raise here, Mike. Yeah. All right, so update on sheet one. It looks like the foot rink took 2 in the fourth. Now tied game. 3-all.
He's got a nice looking shot here for the raise.
Looks like to be just the right weight. To be quite nice. Right to the button.
It's a beauty.
Little pass, not bad still.
Lots of cover in front of it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. Well played.
It looks like on sheet 4, Karen Rogowski was able to steal one to go up 3-1, and we might be having some broom stacking going on.
Steal a 1 there, Mike.
There they go. Steal a 1.
Yeah.
Knowing the teams that are out there, I would be shocked if they didn't stack the brooms. So we'll see if we can keep Dave Mitchell here talking with us, so he's going to run and join them for some refreshments.
I hate to leave anybody hanging like that. I want to make sure there's full assistance from the ice crew. I only, drink on days that end in Y, so I try not to get too out of control there.
Well, we're on sheet 3. Looks like Joyce wants to try to open this up a little bit. Don't know if she's going to gain much out of it. There's a lot of guards in play at this point.
What's her other options here, Mike?
Good question.
I was going to
She
say,
could tap up the outside yellow one like she did earlier in the game. She might get a little rub on one of these yellows getting pushed forward.
the line looks good here.
Just doesn't throw a lot of weight to make a lot of action on these rocks. They will move around. Some will push forward into the rings. But not much change.
Well, she is second stone.
We still have an open draw on this side over here, and Michelle just noted that as well. He's still on the 4-foot over here on her right side. Still a wide open port. We know it's not curling over there. We've seen that enough times today. And that's exactly what Michelle McEnroe is going to do here. She's going to draw one in. In worst case, she cakes it up. Either way.
Yeah, the line's the important thing. If you can come around the guard, you can sit two and make it very difficult on
Right
Joyce.
there, Mike? Right about there, or maybe a little more to the right?
Yeah, you got
right
it.
there?
Yep.
Yeah, right there would be ideal.
So she can't make any double. You just want to have some cover from that blue guard that's in front of it.
Out front here. There's your TV line. See? Plenty of room in through that port there. Tuck around.
Right now, that looks like only out that Joyce has to come through that hole to the 4-foot.
All right, Michelle McEnroe's rock is off.
Yeah,
Line
sweepers
looks
aren't
good.
touching it.
Plenty
so
of weight. Got
that's
plenty
the
of line,
danger. You
too.
don't want to go deep. Give Joyce a full an out.
Looks like we're going to get a rub
Yeah.
here, either way. And that's not bad either. They didn't leave that right there. That's fine, too. That really makes the draw that much harder for Joyce.
All right, Mike, this is telestrator time for you. So take us through the options here.
So what the heck do we do,
Joyce
Mike?
doesn't have a lot of options. She can come. She can come through the port.
Could she get enough curls?
And the curls at the end here, and she can grab some forefoot here. You need to be close to the guard when she comes by.
Any promotion raises here?
No good angles here at all.
Yeah.
A big hitter can hit the outside jello and roll into the forefoot,
Yep.
but that's on the outside ice, and that's not what they're going to look to do here. They got a smaller hole in the middle, but the way it curls at the end, it's tough
Yeah.
to get through this hole and not
Right.
catch through
Yep.
one of these yellow rocks. That looks like what they're trying to do right now, is to draw through that hole.
Nicely done. The Kessler Strader. We'll call
Toys.
it.
Boys with toys.
So it looks like she has decided on. Not. What do you think, Mike?
She's trying to draw through the smaller hole.
Dave.
Yeah,
Is there any room there or what? I'm not sure.
It's really tight.
Yeah.
it's really tight. It's possible, but that's got to be
And
perfect.
she's on the top guard. It looks, oh, the guy's folded out.
Yeah, you can hear Joyce. They said she's holding it. Wow, this could
She
be a
is
nice
holding it.
shot.
It's got a lot of
Now
weight
they're
here,
through.
though, guys.
Whoa! Oh, they
No,
overcooked
overslipped
it.
Yeah. Just not a big hole there.
Wow.
Now they really guarded it up. I
Yeah.
don't know if she's got much to shoot at.
Well, Joyce has the hammer. Joyce with the hammer at the center.
Yes. The blue rock that filled up the hole now, very good. Michelle's thinking about tapping it, but that's dangerous that you can open it back
Yeah,
up.
I don't like that.
If you don't hit it right, you open up a draw for Joyce's team.
She could be up 4-1. She steals this end, which it's looking more like she's going to easily cement that.
The only other shot that exists is way outside yellow angle raises. That's not an
Boy,
easy
that's
shot.
ugly. Yeah, that's an ugly shot.
I'm like, why wouldn't she think about hitting this yellow one out here in the wing?
If you hit the yellow one in the wing, you could sit two. There is a yellow one that moved into the house in front. It could have been
Right.
3 before, but I don't think if you let Joyce shoot right now, she has anything to shoot at.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Just
Yeah, leave
get
that
rid
one.
of that yellow. on the
Right.
wing.
Shot.
Yep.
Leave her the harder shot.
I think that's what we would be doing. But again, not the favorite shot for the women to be throwing on the slower ice out there, and
Mhm.
you got to throw some weight. Can't do any harm if you did it. But if she hits the tap perfectly, she's seen this ice. She's not playing as much ice as she did on the last time she came this path. So she knows it runs pretty straight.
The broomstackers are back.
Oh,
This
and
is starting to curl.
Starting to over curl here.
She's not going to hit that one. She's going to catch a piece of the other guard. Well, maybe she'll get through.
That is going to go through. It's going to wick off a little bit there,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
with the same result.
Yeah, ends up
Yeah.
with a good result.
Absolutely.
The draw, it does exist there now for Susan to throw it through. Did open up the path a little bit for a draw through to Shot Rock.
There we go. Susan was standing there. Once she clears, that's what Mike's referring to. Yeah, even from our TV line, that looks very doable. Now, if you get some late movement.
That's why we talked about not throwing at that guard
Right.
because there was no room there to come through before.
And number 4, Last Rock, Susan Williams.
Good shot here.
Live, Utica Curling Club,
She
Glengarry
makes-
Challenge. That's my only contribution to the broadcast. I get to say that.
We probably have more
Last
fans here for this than we do
Yeah.
for our Mitchell games. The husbands are here.
Yeah, a lot of good crowd here.
That's because we know better. That's why.
Very supportive.
So here's Susan's. Last rock. And number 4.
This one looks like it's got some heat.
No, Joyce wants some on
Sweep
it.
for line.
Oh, they're gonna have to hurry hard
Go,
here.
go, 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 go.
Hurry hard here.
They're through. Now the question of how heavy she is.
Yeah,
Probably
just a
needed
little bit
tick.
heavy.
They needed a tick.
Little heavy. So that's going to be a steal of 2 for Michelle's rink.
Yeah, again, maybe lack of communication between sweepers and the person holding the broom and not knowing how heavy it was.
So for those who might be who joined later, let's let them reintroduce the teams. Let me see. Which one was the mixer? There we go. Let's get it.
Hi, I'm Joyce Schaefer. I want to introduce my team. Susan Williams is my third, and she's throwing skip rocks. Sue Gardner is my second, and Peggy Pratt is my lead, and we're having a great time. Thank you.
Super. So that's Joyce that was working from right to left. There's Team Schaefer. And Team McEnroe from left to right. Here's Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle McEnroe, and I'd like to introduce my team. I'm the skip. My vice is Erlene Coolio, my second, Donna Caleo, and my lead, Jan Rischel.
There you go. Those are the teams competing today, in case you're just joining us a little late. Back to the game.
So Michelle out to a 5-1 lead here after 4. Started the end off with the guard, and Joyce needs to get some rocks in play and would like to draw around that guard.
Yeah, that was a nice steal, Mike. That was nice. Well played by the McEnroe ring. This one looks like it's a little bit outside here. Not quite to the rings.
She's probably better off. They can't hit it out at this point, and something they can tap up, and she needs to keep rocks in play at this point. She's going to try and beat her a little bit to the punch here, and
so you can hear Michelle McEnroe screaming for a sweep on this one. Is
a little tight. They're going to move the yellow stone
tight
forward. Well, the blue one, their own blue, raising it up, and
oh, that one's going to make the house for sure.
so going as a good miss. Actually blocking the raise of the yellow rock into the rings unless you want to play a raise takeout.
Nice plan B there.
So Joyce is going to call for the raise takeout.
Line looks good here, Mike. I'm not sure if he's going to have the weight.
Someone was yelling light on the sweepers, and the line looks nice.
Nicely done. Nice raise takeout. Clears the blue stone.
At this point in the game, I like keeping those blue stones biting in the back of the house.
Absolutely.
Something
Great
we
catchers.
something we can trip over, but great catchers.
Yeah.
You got to try and keep those yellow rocks around as best as you can.
Absolutely. Donna Caleo being called for the takeout on the center line Yellowstone. Looks like she's going to hit it and cross the face, maybe too much for a roll. Should be wide open on the left-hand side, and it is.
At this point, Joyce needs to disregard those rocks and get something into the rings.
Boy, on sheet 2, Mike, we've got another house stacking up. Pretty tight there.
They like filling up the forefoot.
They sure do. It looks like, from our perspective, it could be too blue at this point. Hard to tell with those camera angles. So we'll have to keep you guys posted. And we see that clear up a little bit.
We're in that 2-2 game there, playing the 5th. Cindy Brown has hammer. She is blue, and she is throwing her last shot. Try to score 2 or 3, depending upon whose second shot is.
Sue Gardner's shot for the Schaefer rink.
She went into
Just
the
off
back
button,
four.
right in the back four. Nice shot, though. Still wide open.
She'll ask Donna to remove that rock.
Line looks good here, but you can hear McEnroe right on the sweepers telling them to hop on this one.
They look like they're all over it.
I think they're going to get a nice nose hit or stick right on the button.
Joyce is going for a hit back. She does have that opportunity to play a freeze and again try to keep the rock around, but she's going to hit.
And I'm with you here, Mike. I'd like to, if you're going to hit that, just push it just a little bit. Keep that thing in play.
Keep the backer around. Cindy Brown did not make her last shot and was only sitting 1 and picked up 1 to go up 4-3 on the Foot sisters.
And now this one here turning awfully fast. Schaefer on the sweepers here, just to trying to get a piece to hold it.
She got the rock, stuck around, but not shot rock.
Okay, now McEnroe calling Julio for a fighter here, guard, fighter. Slightly behind the guard. She's got some options here. This looks like it's going to be a nice shot, Mike. Looks like it's probably going to
They're bringing it in.
12 foot.
Trying to go a little deeper if they
No,
can.
get full 8.
They feel like they have some cover. Make it a little tougher shot for Joyce. Joyce would probably like to take this out and roll behind the corner guard.
Where am I?
And Joyce is giving an emphatic up call to the sweepers.
For good reason.
As
It
it
looks
slides by.
This one might just flash, get a little piece maybe, but
Yeah.
not enough to do anything with it, other than tuck it further behind a guard.
Michelle's sitting 2, looking to throw some little protection up on that rock. About half the rock's exposed. Yeah, protect. You can come around this guard and tap it up a little bit and get it a little deeper into the house. And sit 3 and really put the pressure on Joyce.
Absolutely. Oh, McEnroe, right on the sweep call, right out of her hand.
Trying to get by the guard, but she's got a piece of it.
So Pulio a little tight on that release. Now wide open rocks here. And Schaefer throwing her second vice rock. Calling for the removal here. And she looks to be a touch wide. Definitely get an outside piece. Might be coming
the
back
right
to
weight,
nose
so
hit.
it'll come back pretty good. I think you sweep for an outside roll and not leave this thing wide open, but they're just going to let it hit the nose. Michelle looking to remove this rock and try to roll it behind cover.
It bumps it back a little bit. That's good too. Honestly, give me even more. I don't care if it like touches center line. It's fine. Yeah.
So at the onset of the broadcast, David mentioned years of experience on the Schaefer rink. Just looking it up, I want to get the Joyce Schaefer joined the club in 1977. She's been curling for 38 years.
Nice. Fantastic.
Sue Williams probably joined in the 80s.
Yep, Sue, 1987, so that'd be 28 years. So what are we up to? 66 right so far. And then
The other two haven't been quite as long members.
Peggy,
Sue Gardner and Peggy Pratt.
Peggy 2005, and Sue Gardner. So Peggy in her 10th year, and Sue Gardner, I think around that same time. Yeah, 2005. They both joined 2005.
So we're looking at about what, 86 years?
86
that
years
was close. That was
experience.
good.
He said 100. That's in the ballpark. Michelle, the nice takeout here. Didn't roll. But moving the rock up in the rings, making it tougher for the yellow to have any depth in the rings. They're still hitting. I know when I'm up 5-1, I'm very happy when the other team's hitting away at my rocks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And really the only chance for 2 here is to really put some weight on this and take the double. But that
Double would be a nice shot. It is there.
It's definitely there. If you're going to do it, now would be the time to do it.
Right. We're looking for the double. We can catch this rock thin. Well, better clear that off.
Well, let's get it back. Go ahead.
Catch this rock thin
Just hold it down.
and take it over to here. Probably a little exposed if that happened. But make the back one count to sit 2.
It looks like she's a little narrow for that hit, Mike. So it looks like this is going to be an inside hit.
It came up for a second and it's curling hard on them.
Oh, and we're going to have to
They
hurry
might
for
jam
a
this
piece.
blue one into the yellow one and back, and that hit hard enough. Michelle trying to move the yellow rock through. It is shot rock in the back. It is almost fully open. There's a touch of cover on it.
Yeah. Michelle can see that.
But yes.
Edge on edge, right? Is that what they say, Mike?
It's about what it is. Yeah. Michelle will try to remove that rock. If she stays, she sits 3. If she rolls out, she's sitting 2, and just leaving a draw for Sue Williams.
We just have to watch the weight on this one because, again, this is that line.
Been straight out here.
Yeah, it's very, very straight, but it has a tendency to fall with some weight.
So they have 4-3 on sheet 2, huh?
Yeah, Cindy took one.
Yeah.
This sheet's 3-2. Sheet 4.
Yep, have that. Oh, 3-2. Thanks, Mike. Hammer.
Rogowski.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, Rogowski's got him right now. All right, so McEnroe's shot is off, going for the outside hit.
There's danger here if she does rub the guard in. They're holding it nicely. Very nice job with the brooms.
She's all over it.
She's all over it.
That's
It's gonna
nose
be
to sit
stick
3.
around, too. There you go.
Draw against 3.
You can control that rock out there with the sweeping.
They're going to hit that one, though. I'm not sure about this. I'd just draw.
That's a confidence factor.
Yeah.
If you feel like you can hit better than you
Let's
can draw.
take a look at this, though. Well, this rock here right on the edge, nose hit would certainly do it, but any kind of spill this way
Gives up 2.
We definitely do not want to be wide here, that's for sure.
I mean, certainly would hit it if it was closer to the center, but that's what they're going to do, though. Just a nose hit or a little inside flop should get her 1. Last rock in the end.
And this one,
Joyce still in the sweep.
right on line now.
Looks
Sweeping
pretty good.
should hold it.
She's
Not a
definitely
lot of weight.
down weight here
Yeah,
for sure.
I think it's all right.
Yeah, it should be a
Yeah,
nice
she's
shot.
good.
Yeah, straightening out.
Yep. Little inside flop. Got her 1.
Nicely done. Nice shot.
Nice shot, Sue. And
I'll keep them in the game down
Yeah.
3 now, 5-2.
we always want a competitive game here on the UCC network. So with that, and our consolation games are both very tight. So thanks. So starting the 6th end here. Hammer flips back over to Michelle.
Yeah, Joyce has to do a little scoreboard watching as she's down 3. If she gives up a deuce here, she's pretty much out of it with 2 ends to go. Really wants to play steal as much as possible here. It's really steal, steal, steal at this point when you only have 3 ends left.
Right. What would you say, Mike? Like I think in the last broadcast with Roger, we were talking about like the college spiel, like the probability of getting a steal and an end, pretty close to 50-50. What do you think at this level, or
If
you know what I'm saying?
It should be, yes. You just need a couple of good guards to start with. Unfortunately, the first guard for Joyce's team was Hogg. Really important to get those lead rocks into play. Michelle will try to keep things a little clean here and asking to draw out to the side.
So what do you think the next major evolution in the rules is going to be?
5 rock rule.
You think 5 rock, or how about just you cannot touch a guard, can't touch a stone in the free guard zone?
That's possible because they're so good to take shot at the higher levels.
Right, exactly.
At the club level, that's a disaster.
Well, you know what I said to Roger? You know, I was a member here in 02, 03 when I first joined, and then I had that hiatus. But I don't ever remember watching like the Furby team ever try that tick shot. You know, that's like a relatively new thing.
They weren't playing
you
it
know.
back then?
So effectively, if you put a center line guard up, you were coming around that guard, right, or play the corner guard game. And they rarely hit that rock.
Okay.
So effectively, it's almost like it was a stationary, you know, they
Right.
never ticked. So maybe that's the answer. Just go back to effectively what the rule was anyway.
Well, the rule was you could move it. They just didn't think of it.
But nobody ever did it. So
Right.
it was always like, oh, shoot, we got to have to go. It's like a welded into the ice, that first center line guard. If they missed it, if they ticked it, it was a mistake usually.
Right.
Like a narrow hammer, you know, the hammer lead came in narrow or something. Yeah, I'll be curious. I'm gonna keep track of that just informally on the Briar. How many teams are playing that? You know.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The tick
Just
shots?
to see.
Yeah, I mean they all
Seems
play.
like
they
they
all
all are
try in
doing
the
it
10th
now.
end, right? It's a close game, but
And they did play the 5-rock rule at one of their major events
Yeah.
in Canada this year.
you see, I think that's a rule that really wouldn't affect the club play, because who does the tick at the club level? Nobody really. you
It's
know.
rare that it's done.
Very rare, yeah.
When we play in the Mitchell and things like that, you'll see it called.
Mhm.
But the club level, you usually have new curlers at the lead position. And
Yeah,
that's
Raj says it's really not that hard of a shot. He says he has his team played, his mixed team. You know.
well, they're experienced curlers, his
Right.
mixed team.
Right, but he says, you know, it's not, you know,
You
as
just
long as
want
you
to
get
throw
your
a
weight,
hack weight shot at the rock.
Yeah.
And just if you nose it, it drives it through. If you hit the side of it, you won't take it out. Oh, the foot girls on sheet 2 are now sitting 2 with last shot. Draw to the 4-foot for 3.
The David Wright jersey. Audrey Sportin, Mets fan.
Joyce is down 5-2, but she's still hitting away at those biting rocks. I'd like to see her be a little bit more aggressive and throw the guards up and try to steal the end.
So is Peggy probably has years of experience, active curler? Or would she be? Is there anybody prior to her? Would you think out there still actively curling in the leagues and things?
You about Joyce?
Yeah.
Well, there's people.
Well, 38 years. But I mean, are they plate glass or are they?
Well,
you
Bob
know-
Kane. Ed,
Oh, sure. But I mean, on the women's side, I was just wondering.
probably Bob's wife, but I don't know if she's still active.
Oh,
at this
Diane?
point.
Yeah.
Diane. She's curled for quite a long time. Of course, Mickey Haas, who has just recently stopped curling. It'd be interesting to see what her number would be.
Mickey Haas, I think,
Because she stopped curling. She was in her 90s when she stopped curling.
is she still like a plate glass?
Probably.
Or, yeah. So,
And boy, she can still throw a heck of a takeout.
oh, she's in here. She's under active member, 1957.
Yeah.
Joined in 1957.
And I
So that was right around when the Glengarry started, right?
That's great.
I can only hope I'm even walking around at that point. Already at curling.
Peggy Roten would be.
Yep. Oh,
Well,
that's Peggy was
remember.
here. Nice enough to give us some cookies.
Yep. But she's.
Yep, Peggy. Let's look up
Peggy says the Glengarry started in 49.
49. Okay. Thanks, Peggy.
She might have been around to know that.
1961. So.
Don't get yourself in trouble, Mike.
So the Glengarrys started in 1949. I do have a graphic I'll pull up later for the champions of prior events. It's out on our website if you want to go take a look at that. But I'll try to bring it up in the broadcast window later.
For the Glengarrys.
Yeah, the previous champions of this. I don't know if it goes back to 1949. But a pretty wide open end here for
And Michelle had gone in the house, and Joyce has been hitting things out. She finally got a guard up. So it's time to go around it or tap it up, whatever Joyce decides is easier for her. Get the impression she's not going around it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Gosh, 1957. 43 plus 15. 58 years curling.
Wow.
See, I was born, so I could figure it out real quick for you.
So, Mike, you think you ever entertain the thought of doing like a mixed play down ever again? Like the United States, if it ever came this way, like the club mixed or something?
I don't know if
East
it's
Coast, or do they always hold it out in Minnesota?
No, that's been out in the East Coast.
Yeah. Well, it's still just you could represent. You have to play down against the GNCC. I think we only had like 5 teams try this year.
That's usually the course in. You play against the GNCC teams and win a spot there.
But
It'd have to be with the right combination of
I think
people.
they just did a quick round robin. I mean, it was like a 2-day play down. Yeah. So it's not a big time commitment, right?
Yeah, they have a double elimination provision in there, so I do think that one team was undefeated, one team had 1 loss. They did have to play another game.
Okay.
It's been a while since it's probably been 12 years since we've put a team together out of here.
Well, I remember the 2003 Nationals when it was held here, and that was Morehouse's team, right? Who was on that team? It was
Caitlin Costello at the time, now Moraldo.
Yep.
Myself at second, and Erlene Pulio.
Oh, that's the mixed. And what year was that?
2003.
2003. Okay. But I mean the men's team. I was thinking of Morehouse's men's team too. It was Scott Lent, Jimmy
Gleason.
Jimmy Gleason, and I forget who
Dean
else.
Kelly
was on.
go with them?
Dean, that's right. Dean was on that team. They played down and they represented. They were in the actual nationals. Same thing. It was just a regional play down system back then.
Yeah, they don't have the regional anymore for men's, like they did then, where New York State had their own region.
Nice shot by Erlene. So
the mixed is still a regional thing, but the men's and women's.
But
no
you could go to
longer
the
regional.
Worlds if you win it.
Talking about men's?
No, mixed.
Mixed. Yeah, there is. This is. I might be the first year this year that there's a mixed Worlds.
No, they have it. They had it last year.
It was last year that it first started. But they never used to be back when we played.
Yeah, there's definitely a mixed Worlds. I think it's held late in the season, though. It's like closer to May.
Well, most of the Worlds are late. They have to let all the countries have their championships. Joyce trying to follow Erlene down, but did not have quite the same weight. Curled up hard. Just protecting Michelle's shot there.
Rogers. Oh, I got a text here. Let's see. Maybe somebody's correcting us. Oh.
Say sorry, no corrections
Somebody from
unless
work
you're actually
wants-
here at the club.
Hang on. That's a work call here. I hope I don't have to.
Erlene throwing her last rock at third, trying to protect her rock that she had drawn. Had gotten in. Maybe come around the yellow rocks. Michelle sweeping to get by.
That was
They
just
come right down to it, Mike.
It's got a beauty. Beautiful shot by Erlene. Hung right back on top of her house, or her rock. Very difficult to remove both of those rocks with one stone. Got some updates on the scoreboard. We have the Foot Sisters up 1 now, 5-4 after scoring 2 in the 6th. And sheet 4 is still playing the 6th end.
Yep. So into Skip Stones now, and number 6. Mike said, if Michelle was to get a deuce here, it pretty much probably was cemented away. Although up 5 with 2 ends, I guess is not totally out of reach.
Championship game you play, but
Yeah.
it's a tough battle at that point. So looking to at least remove one of these rocks.
I have to hurry. Oh, nope. Pulled it right out.
Nice shot by Susan, but oh, she is shot.
Yeah, and shot rock too. Fine, that was
Not
a
in
fine
a bad
shot.
place to leave that.
That's exactly right.
Nice little catcher back there.
Let's take a look at how much of that rock Michelle can see. Well, that's not quite edge on edge. I'd say it's about 7/8.
Yep, and she can chip it out without jamming it. Actually, I don't think she could jam because she'd hit the rock in front of it to get by.
Yeah. So she's just looking to hit here, as Mike said, spill it out this way. Don't think well, she throws light enough. She might be able to.
She'd like to try it and stay out, count
Yeah.
the top yellow one. If she rolls out, there'll be an open hit for 2 to sit 2.
Crowd's starting to thin out a little bit now. I was surprised, yeah, when I pulled in all the cards that were here in the lot. I was like, what the heck's going on? I knew there were only 6 teams playing.
Just no carpool. That's
Yeah, the parkway in the end of the lot. I was thinking maybe they had a corporate outing or something going on this morning.
It was good to see. We did have a couple come by with a couple kids. One of the kids had to do a project on curling, so he came down, and Joe Cosentino took him down, and we took some nice pictures for
Nice.
his school projects. It was nice to see them.
Boy,
Came all the way from Cooperstown.
Oh, super.
Michelle's able to
Well,
take that stone out.
That's exactly what I just drew up. She didn't hang around, though.
Did roll out. So Joyce, Sue can
Excellent
make a nice
shot.
hit and roll here to sit 2, set up a possible steal. I do see
Sit
more
1.
Dykes members.
Oh, to sit 2.
To
You're
sit
right,
2,
you're right,
yeah.
you're right. Sorry about that.
You see more Dykes members returning from Boston.
Did you guys all come back?
Another one bit the dust.
Did you all 3 of you come back together? No, I mean, like, did you just... Okay. This is Joe here, and I know I was watching the online draw for the game today. We played at, what, 9:15 or 11? Yeah.
We were hoping one of the Utica teams would do well and earn a berth into that Colts, but they didn't earn their berth quite yet.
Yes.
They're going to have to work for that berth.
Well, you know what I got? I have a great idea. I want all 4 of them to play down. I want the Schmidt rink I told them I'd organize it, have a weekend play down.
There you go.
They should. I mean, why not? We're guaranteed 1 spot from the home club. So you guys, 4 teams play down.
No
we'll get a
role
little
from Joyce's
seating
team.
committee together and seed them 1 through 4, and 1 will play 4, 2 play 3. Is that how you would do it, Mike, or would you think you'd make
just
them do
throw 'em
a
out of the
round
hat.
robin? No, I mean, would you think of just a single limb? How would you do something like that with 4 teams?
Anytime you do that, you have to have that double elimination provision put into it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want you don't think for this event just a single limb to see who goes.
You want to give the losers a chance to come back into it.
So 4 teams with some kind of a double
2 winners,
elimination.
2 losers.
Yep.
They play each other. The team that loses their second game is out.
Okay. I see. Yeah, they
Well,
could
you
do
could-
it on a Saturday, Sunday, right? Yeah.
They have to start thinking about that soon because that
Yeah, next
event's
weekend.
coming
Next
up.
weekend.
Yeah.
Next
Well, the
week.
Colts starts on the 13th. I think.
That's right. Yeah, it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Well, Roger, I noticed something on the. Let's take us home here in the center. Hold
Michelle
on.
looking to score 1 here with a hit. Do a nice rock. That's the roll that Joyce needed.
Yeah.
Just
Yes,
tried to steal
exactly.
2.
Yeah.
We just got the 1.
That gets them up 6-2 at the end of 6 ends.
Yeah. Hammer goes back to Joyce. 7th end. So I think our scores are all updated. They're still playing the
Still
6th
playing the
end over in
sixth.
Broomstack Central over there. So anyway, back to that idea, Mike. So, okay, so some kind of a double elimination, 4 teams.
Well, you can do round robin. Can end up with ties,
Yeah.
but not too bad a tie. Usually only end up 2
Well,
teams
they're
with a tie.
they're doing the relegation in the Briar this year. I don't know if you read about that. You guys, did you read about that? It's-
I had heard about that. I haven't,
yeah, they're saying they want to allow, instead of have that combined Yukon Northwest Territories, it was always a combined team. They said let each association send a rep, and then they wanted a Team Canada in the mix, which they have this year. So that makes 15, and they still wanted to keep the traditional 12-team round robin. So they're having 4 teams play down for 1 spot before the Briar starts, like a few days before.
I had heard about it. I didn't
I
quite
did see
understand how
today
they
on the
do it.
news that somebody was eliminated that normally had the spot. I didn't
Yeah,
read the
Nova
details.
Scotia was the
They were
last.
eliminated.
Yeah, they. So it's interesting with that is, well, Nunavut is an actual. That's like Yukon up that way, north of Calgary or north of Alberta. Didn't send a team, so they had 14 teams for 12. So 3 teams for 1 spot, and they all beat each other. They did a round robin. They all were, and you know how they said, and then they said the top 2 play an extra game to see who's the rep.
Well, there were 4 teams?
3 teams.
3 teams.
But they didn't have the tiebreaker.
They were all
they
one
went
and
by last stone draw. So how do you break a tie when all teams beat each other? They each beat each other 1-1 in the tiebreaker. They went by that last stone draw they do in the pro ranks
To eliminate one of the teams?
one team. So, and I think they lost by 2 centimeters. So there was a big uproar, saying how fair people are pissed.
There's always been an argument that you want to lose the game on the ice.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but they're definitely doing that. There's a new rule change in the Worlds coming up too, that they're only have 1 tiebreaker round. So if there are 4 teams tied for that last spot, they're only going to seed the top 2 to
Top
play.
2.
That's it. They're not going to do multiple
And
tiebreakers.
they'll use the shootout scores.
Yep. I could understand that. The WCF doesn't want. I personally, tiebreakers are part of the NFL and
Sure.
all sports. I mean,
You have to address them somehow.
yep.
So it's like a beautiful draw here.
And they just up that to have 2 guys throw too. They have to throw an in turn and an out turn, I think.
2 different people throw
Yeah,
it?
and they have to.
It's not all 4 on the team
No,
throwing.
but 2, and then
Okay.
they combine them, the distance for each game, for hammer and stuff. So.
Peggy trying to draw it down to the rock that Jan just put in.
Looks like it might go by.
Joyce played a tick, missed the tick, missed the rock.
Oh.
We get an update on sheet 4. Looks like they hammer to Karen with a
Bukowski.
hammer took 1.
Took 1.
Carol gets the hammer back. So up to date is the scoreboard. And nothing really cooking here for Joyce. She needs a big number in this end.
Michelle is shot and Donna's guarding it right now.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a nice center line guard.
Just going to look to open up, maybe run back a rock.
Yeah,
onto
run
the
that
shot.
yellow in, I think. Okay. That would be nice outcome. You see what she's...
Looking for T-line weight and opening
Yeah.
up the center.
Let's tap that one back under cover. This one would spill out, maybe use it as a corner guard later.
Yeah, we
Looks like
just
we're
got
gonna
an update on
Big end on sheet 2.
G2 before ender.
Cindy with the... Or with,
Cindy
Yeah.
with
yep.
Yeah, it was Cindy. Yep,
Cindy took 4.
4-ender.
Opened up a big lead after 7 now, up 3. He's going to try to wick it over and put it in the rings and still get it opened up, and successful with that.
Yeah, just over curled, but second stone's going to need a misses from Michelle's team here to
Just
more than
looking
likely
to
get a
guard.
deuce. So it's kind of like we have the Season of Champions now with all these events rapid fire here on the UCC network. We've been over here pretty much every weekend. Next year we're going to have a permanent setup. Thinking of doing some fundraising.
To leave it on all the time?
Yes, yes. And just
Oh, that'd be great.
the main thing is this. You start with that. Get the club to buy a decent streaming computer.
Either that or we get a desktop and we bolt it to the wall.
Yeah. That's
To
what we're
make
gonna do. We're gonna Roger's picked out like a case, and we're just gonna we're just gonna lock it up and leave it right there. That's the plan anyway.
Be on sheet 3 all the time?
Well, like I said, I mean, I could do something like Denver just started their streaming up, and they have a really innovative thing. I mean, they do what we do, basically, these views, but they have it all on one screen, but it's not like the people aren't scrunched, you know, like you've seen mine before. And then they, you should check it out. I mean, it's on the live stream, but they only switch, one button switch after the end's over. You know what I mean? So the thing is automatically programmed to, like, you know, like they can see the house. Like there's a little window that comes up, shows the house overhead that you're shooting to.
Okay.
You get the idea, and then you always see both sides like we have here. So you don't have to switch. You don't have to, you know, you can just sit here and hit a button. Right, it'd be easier. So that's the goal for next year. That's what we're going to try to do.
That'd be great.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so 2 yellows are in now, though.
Michelle still looking to protect.
So Pulio's shot coming in nicely. This one
It's over curling.
over curling and going a little deeper than they wanted.
Not in, so it's not touching, though.
See
So
half
there's
a rock.
Chance, yep. Chance here to sit 3. And not even into skip stones yet. This will be Joyce's second. Again, if you're just joining, Susan Williams throwing 4 stones for the Schaefer team.
Joyce Schaefer's rock is off.
Yeah,
Sweepers
she's
are
a
running
little
right out of her
tight.
hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to suck it out.
No.
She's going to be on the blue guard, the high blue guard.
Keep going. That's too bad. Even if she's split the one in the top 12 there, open it up a little bit. Now it's
Gave McEnroe a chance to
Really get it guarded up.
Yeah,
really get
that
a
was-
guard up now.
that's too bad. They could have built the drama up a little bit with a nice hit and stick.
Nice shot.
Look to protect the stone on the outside so they can't pick it out. It's got a nice line.
Yeah, this is a beauty.
And there it comes. Very nice guard. Beautiful guard.
Yeah, perfectly positioned.
Yeah, Joyce is going to have to move some granite here.
Yeah, now what? What do we do?
Love to throw the double, but she doesn't really throw enough weight to get both of them out, so they got to move the guard to start with.
Well, Joyce is planning on bringing some weight here. We'll see if she can hold the line.
A little tight when she let it go.
Yeah,
And
she sure would. Look like she flipped it a little bit. Definitely not going to get a double here, but going to get the inside hit.
It's going to make the peel.
well, she moved them around, but not in a good position.
Yeah, you can see that about half available. Shot stone.
Blue sitting 2 at this point.
Yeah.
Shot rock is half covered.
So how's this, Mike? So if basically, how did she get a 3 out of this? So a missed guard, a chip, and roll to here.
You got to roll so you don't block. Well, you could roll it so you could use it for a raise,
right?
or
And then,
roll it so you don't
Michelle
block.
went for it and then jammed on the back.
That's a lot of hope. That's the optimistic viewpoint.
Yeah.
Of
There
it.
you go.
Well,
Yeah.
we need. I think that's what she needs. At least 2 here. I mean,
Yes.
It's always easier behind the glass, and
Yeah.
I shoot 100% back here, so.
yeah.
It is not an easy shot that you laid out there. Except for Michelle's guard here. That's
Yeah,
probably the easiest
Michelle
of the
needs-
shots.
Those other highest percentage shots are the ones where I get to throw through the house. Those are my other favorites. So I don't have to worry about those too
Right.
much.
Well, not the largest live audience we've had, but hopefully the recordings will get a lot of plays, as they always do.
This looks like it might be going deep. The sweepers are not interested in this one at all.
Getting to that straight path and hanging a little bit.
Here it comes back, but it looks like it may come right down to it. Got a chance for a double here.
Well, it's hitting 3 now.
They need sit here,
You can't hit either one on the nose, it looks like, to be shot.
crotch them. They both go.
Tough shot to throw the crotch. You really got to
Yeah.
be perfect in there.
A possible
With some
opportunity for a
weight,
triple
too.
with that blue in the back as well, but that's going to take a lot of weight. Move all 3 of those rocks.
And depending upon where you hit that blue rock that's on the right, it could hit the blue one in back. It could jam the yellow one on the right-hand side, too.
Either way, safe to say, Sue's going to have to bring some weight
Got to
here.
bring some weight and move some blue rocks around if they're going to score 1 at least, let alone multiples.
It's pretty good weight.
Pretty good weight, but she is wide, very
She
wide.
held it,
here,
she's
guys.
wide, but she let it go.
Yeah. It's going to hit the outside of this rock, looks like. Starting to come back. You get a nose hit. It's really not what you want.
No. She's now probably second or third.
Yeah, I
tough
think
to
she's
tell.
second. I think.
She has the option of taking that out or trying to guard it up again. Looks like she's going to guard it up. Not take the chance of jamming into anything.
Right. Sheet 4.
Yeah, some crazy woman out there causing trouble again.
Yeah, that's that would be my lovely wife. Yeah, Beth, I love you. Yeah, you're having lots of fun out there. A lot of smack talking.
He's
going
always
on.
having fun out there.
Big four-ender by Cindy Brown and sheet 2. They're just coming into the final stones of the game over there.
Yeah, as expected, Cindy threw her first couple rocks right through the house just to keep it clean.
A lot of discussion here, but just looks like the guard is the call.
All right, again, sweepers are not interested in this one either. And this one's still a little outside, too. So now they're hitting it as it starts to make its way back.
Looks like he did what it had to do.
It's going to be tough for Joyce to get in there for.
You can squeeze
much.
between the two yellows. Pick up a possible deuce there. It's got to be backline weight to push the blue rock through. The yellow one is just biting the 8-foot that's second, would be second rock if she was able to do this. Sue's going to try and navigate that small port and push the blue rock back for 2.
So to hang in the game here, Susan Williams, last stone, and number 7.
With that weight, this one looks a little wide, guys. I'm not sure I'd be sweeping
Sweepers
that
are
one.
on it.
It's curling
Yeah,
now.
it's starting to come.
Joyce wants them.
Oh, they're going
Is
to be
it
on the
gonna-
guard.
Are they going to hold it? No.
Now they're on the guard.
Yeah. Close, but didn't get it. That's going to be a steal of, we know of 1.
Looks like it might be a handshake
Yeah.
time.
Joyce is looking at the scoreboard. And is that, yes, the game,
The shake-off?
I
might
think
be.
she waved. Yeah, and everyone's coming down to the other end. So that could be it. That's it. That is it.
I'm not sure yet, guys. It looks like there may still be some gameplay here. Not quite calling it yet. Michelle's still at the opposite end. Looks like they're putting the rocks in the
No.
crib, so they're planning on shooting this out. So
Okay.
Cindy Brown, sheet 2, looking to
So
eliminate.
it was a steal of 2.
was a steal of 2 there, yep.
So should we go over to sheet 4 or what? As soon as the game is over, we'll swivel over.
I expect you're going to see some rocks flying through the house here the first bunch.
Yes, the Foot Sisters aren't done yet. On sheet 2, there's a nose hit double to score 3 here and send this game into an extra end on sheet 2.
Yeah, strong possibility there. And as expected, here comes our first rock on 3 right through the house.
Is that Melissa's last?
Our last rock coming up
Last rock on 2.
on sheet
Yep.
2. We're going to get a quick adjustment here to show the last shot, what the park looks like. There's 2 red stones in the top 12 on the left-hand side and 2 blue stones throws into each other, off angle. Nose hit double for 2 to tie the game. The rock's underway.
It's got a chance here. We've got a great chance. Might be a great shot.
And we're going to have to sweep really hard. It's just not going to get
just
there.
Not going to make it.
Steal of 1 for Cindy to win the game 9-5.
All right, and again, back to sheet 3, you'll see just rocks are going to be continued tossed through the house here to keep things clean. No reason to give them anything to hide behind at this point.
Sheet 4, Carol Jones throwing her last rock, down 2. The other team is sitting 3. Carol's going to move 1 and roll out. Yep. Steal of 2 for Karen Rogowski to put her up 4.
So this back to sheet 3. This looks like to be a nice draw if they can get it past there. I think they waited just a little too long on that.
Steal of 2 on sheet 4 to make it 6-2.
Okay, and on sheet 3 now you see Michelle just calling for the cleanup here, so should be going to hit any of these out. This one looks to be a little bit wide, might miss all of them.
Set that out a little bit. Joyce has to figure out how to score a 6. I guess she needs to put them in play and have a few misses.
Yeah, we're going to have a bunch of paint calls here. All right, so Sue Gardner's shot is off.
Looking to grab some paint and sit 2.
I have to get it there. You hear Joyce calling that one a lovely stone.
She still has hope.
So essentially here, Donna Cleo makes this takeout. We are mathematically impossible at this point. But you never know.
Yeah, someone could tap up that yellow rock out there.
You never know.
I think I might have shook before the end started, down 6. But it's a championship game. Joyce is hanging in there.
More airtime. I saw Gary White shook after, what was it, down 6 with 2 to play with the hammer. Would you have done that? Yeah? Okay.
That's enough.
I think especially, you know, it depending on the
Yeah,
gameplay.
I
I
was
played those games
surprised,
where
the Dykes, you might as well
It's
keep
7-1,
playing.
you know, you're getting
Yeah.
you. I don't know what the score was, but if
It was 8-2.
8-2, but you know you're getting
Yeah.
outplayed sometimes.
Sometimes it's better off to.
Really, I just seen some crazy Dykes comebacks. Though.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, that's a definite. That's
Yeah.
why some of those events are
Yeah,
fun, though.
right.
It's a good time.
Steal
You see
a
some crazy
four to
wiki
win
whack
the game
shots,
and-
and all kinds of stuff happens.
I was having such a good time watching those guys play. I mean, they were on early on every one of their games. Was on. They were all just on sheets 2 and 3, so you could watch them.
Yeah. That's great, though.
Watch Dan's first game at work, and it's fun. And they kept the pace pretty good. I mean, they had a real strict time limits at the Dykes this year, so you know that rule they have at Broomstones with the. But all the games that I saw went 8 ends.
And
that is it.
Michelle McEnroe, our 2015
So
Glengarry
congratulations to Team McEnroe. There's their picture for you up. Michelle McEnroe, Erlene Pulio, Donna Caleo, Jan Rischel. 2015 Glengarry champs. So you guys want to stay? We're almost to the end of sheet 4. We'll stay to the conclusion.
We're on sheet 4. Carol Jones down 4 and not looking good right now.
Yeah.
There's a very well guarded shot in the 4-foot.
I could swivel. We have this Royal Princess Cruise Line poster would be blocking the camera, so.
Are we giving away a cruise this year?
Yeah. All the teams had a city as their team name.
Okay.
Geez, if I knew that, I would have put a wig on and tried to get in this thing. You know?
First time broadcasting this event. We'll make it a staple in the future schedules. And before we sign off, we just want to say that coming up on March 13th or 14th, that's Friday, we were expected to start that event Thursday at 6 o'clock on the 12th, but there's a corporate outing that was, I don't know how that was resolved on that night, so they may be forced to start on Friday. They've already booked that outing, taken their money, so I don't see how they
Yeah,
could
I'm
tell
not sure
those
what
corporate people to move. It was like a 4-sheet outing.
I haven't gotten any update for the ice schedule, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure how that's
So they're probably more than likely, we'll be here probably Friday morning is probably when it's going to begin. And we'll have our army of broadcasters lined up. You two guys are more than welcome. We'll have John Rogers going to be at the college bonspiels, but we'll have Dave Crignon, Dave Pelazzoli.
Daytime for some of us are difficult
Yeah.
on Friday.
Yeah,
But
I'm going to be off that Friday, so
And Saturday, Sunday, I'll be around for sure.
okay, great. I'll send an email to all you guys soon. And like I said, that's an open format, so we'll have we have Laura Jacon, we have who's done in the past?
Julie.
Michelle McEnroe, Julie Shinatry. So we'll have a schedule, we'll have everyone lined up, rotate around the games, we'll teach some people to run the board here and just leave the gear here. So what's going on 4, Mike? We almost to the end?
yeah, it looks pretty bad right now for blue, who needs 4, and red sitting 2 in the 4-foot.
Yeah, so these are our other 2 consolation. There's the applause. And our runners-up, Team Schaefer. There they are again. Joy, Susan, Sue, and Peggy from right to left.
And we have a
Thanks.
handshake on sheet 4.
Okay, so congratulations to Karen Rogowski. So Karen Rogowski and Cindy Brown are 2 consolation event winners in the Glengarry Challenge. So I said we'd, I think Cindy won this last year, if I recall. The board? Here. Let me, hold on guys. I have it in downloads here somewhere.
Last few years winners.
Oh, what happened to it? There we go.
Cindy's
So
team
just
won.
yeah, so Cindy won in 2014. Laura Jacon, Carrie Casab, Don Scherer, Dee Fole in 2013. And Cindy Brown's team again in 2012. Liz Williams, Bryn Davis, Erlene, Dana Corman, Rachel Ryan, 2011. Those names I don't recognize. I was just looking back to see when perhaps Joyce had won it last time. Let's see. How back did we go? We only go back to 2003. Well, you can see that Brown team, just a staple on them.
Yeah.
A staple.
Yeah.
Wow. So they won it
Pretty much the same
2003,
team.
2004, 2007, 2008. Anyway, both well played by both teams today. So, Mike and Dave, thank you so much for sitting in today.
Thanks for having us, Doug.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Doug.
And we will look forward to our next broadcast, which will be the Branch Colts. We'll have a look on the website for a upcoming event icon for that one. Hold on. Oh. There's an ad. All right. So, all right. Come on. Anyway, you guys can sign off. It's not for some reason. Did I get the wrong?
We have closing credits.
Oh, here we go. Anyway, I had some music queued up here, so we'll try to get it going. But for Mike Kessler, Dave Mitchell, my name is Doug Smith. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Utica Curling Club channel. Wonder why it's not working.